You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Jason Kelly.
From Bloomberg, this is The Deal. Each week, you'll hear us in conversation with business icons.
This show will explore deal-making across sports, media, and entertainment.
That is a harsh lesson in business.
Sports is not as simple as bringing a bunch of big names together.
I didn't want to do another stomp you out speech.
It opened up so many more doors.
The show is called The Deal.
Listen to The Deal.
Listen to The Deal on Spotify. It's only a kick, a jump, a block. It's only a serve. It's only a tackle, a run. It's only for the fans. After all, it's only pressure. You got this. Adidas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident panelist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_data. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, is a glorious, glorious, glorious day for a couple reasons. Number one, the Packers, it turns out, will be the team going to Brazil. I mean, on one hand, it's not surprising because out of 32 teams, we knew it was down to 2. On the other hand, it's very surprising because it just really felt like it was going to be. And I think maybe I got pulled too hard by, what's his name? Whatever. That guy that said he thinks it's going to be the Browns, right? Because it just came out of left field, like Browns. Where does that come from? And then I hear it's down to Browns and Packers, and it's like, well, yeah. I mean, it's down to, Packers and the team that supposedly this guy has an inside source saying is going to go there. But again, I was very hopeful that it would be the Green Bay Packers. I felt it would be a complete disservice to fans in Brazil to have a team like the Browns play there that nobody cares about, especially when the most popular team in Brazil is the Green Bay Packers. That, to me, is a no-brainer. I mean, the only reason you would do that is if you're trying to push the Eagles. In that case, you send the Eagles, and then you find a team that you know Brazilian fans are not going to be cheering for to make sure that the Eagles are not overshadowed by the away team. That was the only rationale I could come up with. But the NFL did the right thing. I understand some Packer fans are not super excited about this situation. I just want to let me play this for you real quick. So on Twitter, there is an account called Packers Brazil because, of course, there is. As I've said, Brazilian Packer fans are. There's a lot of them. There's a big entity. I know several of them. You probably know several of them. On top of having, I mean, how many different Packers I don't even know of like a Mexican Brazil or a Canadian Packers or Mexican Packer fans, Canadian Packer fans. I know UK Packers. I don't know Australian Packers. I don't think I've seen a German Packers group. The only other one I know outside of UK Packers is this Packers Brazil. And as far as individuals I know from other countries, Brazil might be number one. I know Dara from Ireland. There's the UK Packers podcast guys, which I don't really see on social media very much, but I know they exist, so that would bring it up to 3. I think I might know more than 3 Brazilian. So the bottom line is huge. But this is, I'm presuming, the person that owns the Packers Brazil Twitter X page, and he put out a video. It's a couple minutes long. I just want to play this for you real quick.
This is to all my friends in the United States and around the world. It's just crazy what just happened. It's unbelievable that the Green Bay Packers will play here in Brazil. And I know there's a lot of concerns for a lot of people that came to Brazil, to South America, to Latin America. And, well, I'm kind of emotional now. But I really want to say that, men and girls and everybody, you have no idea how crazy we are about this game. and how crazy we are about the Green Bay Packers. To know that the Packers will play here in Brazil is just something unbelievable, and it's very emotional for us. And well, get prepared. Just say that to you all, guys. Get prepared, because we're going to make a big party here in Brazil. This game will be so incredible, and everyone will ever remember this game, will ever remember the Green Bay Packers in Brazil. You'll see how passionate we are about this game, how passionate we are about the Packers. The Packers, the most popular team here in Brazil, and in a moment that the NFL grows so much here in the last 15 years, the Packers just won one Super Bowl in 2010. It's been almost 15 years that we don't play the Super Bowl game, and yet the people here in Brazil just love the game, just love the community about the Green Bay. It's a culture in Green Bay that is so similar to Brazilian soccer teams. The fact that we don't have an owners, the city belongs to the people, and the Packers have this unique characteristic. So Brazilians get connected with the Packers so much, and man, it's just unbelievable that we'll have a game so big as this. Is the Packers and the Eagles opening season in Brazil, September 6th. Get ready. You just go crazy about how crazy we are with this game. This is something unbelievable, but we are so happy and so emotional. I got tears, and the Packers is coming. My foot.
So, got cut off there for whatever reason, but the reason I'm playing that is, I understand some fans are not super excited about it, right? Well, I don't want the team traveling that far, et cetera, et cetera. First of all, I genuinely think that is a negligible effect. I could try to look into it and see if there's something massively problematic with that. You got to take a plane ride down there. So does your competition. Then you take a plane ride back, and then you probably get a bye week, and then you're rested for the weekend. Like what? I don't see it as. I mean, I know the Packers are going to be offered a bye week, whether they decline it or not. I feel like they did decline it last time, and it came out that they decided maybe that was a bad decision. But obviously, I've been pushing this, as I've said, for several different reasons. One of the major reasons, though, is this. It just blows my mind to have such loyal fans in places that don't have. I mean, we grew up with this, most of us. I'm as much a Packer fan as I am an American. It's just a thing I was born with. To be a Brazilian or to be French or whatever, and to be a Packers fan, I just genuinely have a lot of respect for it. And part of it, I think, is, back in the day, 10 years ago, before I even started this, when I was living back in Kenosha, the only way I could watch Packers football games, because again, I didn't have that antenna, and I don't even think they had like YouTube Live or any of that. And if they did, we probably couldn't afford it, but we didn't have really any way of watching. So I would use all these garbage streams, and usually it would be like Sky Sports. So it was like the UK. Once in a while, though, it would be like a French channel. So I couldn't understand them, but the passion and the excitement and the fact that they had it, that there were people dedicating their time, and nobody cares about them. Nobody knows who they are. The fact that there's even a French sports channel dedicated to this, or Brazilian or Mexican or whatever. Like, I don't say nobody cares. I just mean they're not doing it for any gain. There's no audience. They're doing it strictly out of passion, out of love for it. You got to actively seek out other fans to be a part of a community. I mean, you're talking for some people, not necessarily Brazil, but especially in Europe and other places, you're staying up till all hours of the night. When you got school or work the next morning, you're staying up just to watch a random, Sunday game. They're staying up until early Monday morning to watch these games. And for the potentially marginal negative impact that I don't even know exists that may come toward the Packers, to be able to give the passionate Brazilian fans this amazing gift, it's not even a discussion in my mind. And again, on top of that, I want to grow the fan base. I want the Packers to go there because I want, you've got some Packer fans going, but those Packer fans are going to bring their kids. They're going to bring their friends maybe who aren't necessarily fans. You're going to have some people that go just because it's, they don't know the NFL, and there's going to be an NFL like this. It's a major American event, so I'm here. Let's go check it out. And they're going to go and they're going to fall in love. They're going to see Packer fans and they're going to see the cheering and the excitement and all that, and they're going to love it as a result. I mean, our Packer fan family, community, whatever you want to call it, is going to grow as a result of this. There may be a marginal growth every time the Packers play because somebody watched it on TV here in America. Somebody went to a game that's going to fall in love with it. If you're an away team, maybe somebody went and is going to, because they were there, But you want to maximize the impact, go to another country, go to Brazil. So I am excited. I'm excited the Packers are going to another country. I think it's cool for the Packers, to be honest. Maybe some of them are going to be annoyed, but I think it's a cool experience for them. I think it's a great opportunity for the franchise. I think it's a great opportunity for the NFL to pull more people in. As much as I hate to agree with the NFL that seems to only care about that as opposed to the game, I mean, obviously, making this a worldwide event would not be a negative thing. I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to be like, oh, it's America only. I only want Americans watching football. No, I want it to grow, man. I want it to be huge. Huger. Oh, and Steve is here crying about only on Peacock. I'm going to lose it. But again, it's like, I'm going to be nice. But I got Pedro, the redhead from Brazil, says best day of the year by far. And then Steve says only on Peacock, thumbs down. Like, he's upset about spending like $3 or whatever to be able to watch it on Peacock. Like, I'm sorry, like, that just doesn't move the needle when you consider the impact for Brazilian fans to be able to see the Packers in person. You're just never going to get me to be upset about the Peacock thing. I'm sorry. You want to put it on one of these other ones where it's like $20 a month? All right, yeah, that's going to be freaking annoying. And mostly because I'm going to have to do the trial and then unsubscribe, which, that's the peak of the annoyance. Anyways, man, 10 minutes already. Why don't we... So the other reason today is a glorious day is Dane Brugler's The Beast draft guide finally came out. So, you've got a good draft guide when I cannot start officially having opinions on anybody until your draft guide comes out. Because there's such good information on there. Not everybody, some of it's pretty boilerplate stuff, but there's some real serious gems in here. Also, his rankings are pretty phenomenal. The reason I really like it, too, it's kind of similar to... why do I even bother trying to say other people's names? But the rankings are not what everybody else in the world has been saying, which is just kind of refreshing. So despite the fact that he does have Jalen Ford down a little bit of a ways, which annoys me, I still really like to see the differences in rankings, specifically with linebacker, which is where we're going to start with linebacker. And that's what we're going to be doing today, only is linebacker. So I'm going to give... my thoughts. I'm going to have to watch a few extra prospects because I want to... The two things I want, I just decided, has to be top 200 in the consensus big board and at least top 10 in Dane Brugler's list, which, surprisingly, some of the guys that I watched in the top 200, and there's not a lot of linebackers, so I'm going to regret the whole top 200 thing when I get to like wide receiver and offensive tackle, but some of the top 200 linebackers didn't even make his top 10. So we're going to go through all of those linebackers, the highs, the lows, the interesting points, the red flags, and my thoughts. Those are kind of the breakdown of the things that I want to cover for each of these guys, as well as obviously, for example, what round Dane Brugler kind of sees it in, what fit they could possibly be for the Packers if maybe they're not quite even on our radar, whatever. We'll see. So with some additions in the NFL draft big board thing, as well as the top linebackers in NFL draft buzz, as well as the top linebackers in the Beast, I come away with 19 linebackers. Now, do I want to go through 19 linebackers on the podcast? I don't know. So I'll tell you what I'll do. Rather than what I was planning on doing, which is starting from the bottom and working my way up, we'll start from the top and work our way down, and we'll see how far we get before it seems not super important. And we're going to use the Beast as sort of the how we determine who the best is and work our way from there. So there may be some surprises. In fact, right out of the gate, there are some surprises. First of all, what we've seen pretty much this entire draft cycle, at least for the last several months, either Edgerrin Cooper or Peyton Wilson is the number one linebacker. That is not the case here. In fact, there is only one person with a solid second-round grade, and it's Junior Colson. One of the things I noticed right away is age is a bit of a problem for linebackers. Most of these guys are 23 with a handful of 24-year-olds. Junior Colson is one of the few 21-year-olds, and I think that weighs pretty heavily on the order because most of the 21-year-olds are toward the top, 23, 24 toward the bottom. But anyways, Junior Colson, the only guy with a solid second-round grade. And when I say solid, it's because it's not second, third, it's just second. So he is a linebacker out of Michigan, 6'2", 238 pounds, which is on the bigger side, which is obviously another positive. 21.39 years old, so he's young. He's bigger than most linebackers. He didn't do the 40. He's got pretty much bigger hands than most of these guys. Arm length is a little bit shorter. But he's originally from Brentwood, Tennessee. One of the favorite things about this is how interesting a lot of these stories are. So his birth name is Pierre Charles. He was actually born in Haiti. His dad died when he was young and he was placed in an orphanage. After that really, really bad earthquake that hit Haiti in 2010, I'm sure many of you remember that, he connected with Melanie Colson and her daughter Amanda, who traveled from the United States to Haiti to help with the relief efforts. The Colson family, including Melanie's husband, Steve, had fostered 11 children to that point, but were considering adoption. After a different family backed out of adopting Junior, the Colsons went through a 2-year process of legally adopting him. How unbelievable is that? I mean, this is like, I hate to bring it up because I know there was some kind of a controversy. I don't even know what it was, but The Blind Side, how they make movies out of stuff. This is a movie. And this isn't even that unusual. Like, these kinds of stories, there's so many of them. He was born Pierre Charles in Haiti. Dad died. Earthquake brought these families together. Crazy. In May 2012, Colson boarded a plane at age 9 for the first time and flew to his new home in Brentwood, just outside of Nashville. He only spoke Haitian Creole and had to learn a new language and culture. He now has dual citizenship. I mean, it's just freaking crazy. It says one of the ways he got integrated into his new home was through sports. He played mostly soccer growing up. He was introduced to baseball, football, and other sports by his older brother Josh. And he joined a youth football team his first year in the U.S. In middle school, football became his focus and his favorite sport. He was 4-year varsity letterman in high school, played wide receiver as a freshman, moved to linebacker as a sophomore. Colson also joined the track team at Ravenwood. Another thing that's almost unanimous is these guys are multiple sport athletes. He's a 4-star recruit, number 10 linebacker in the 2021 recruiting class, number 2 recruit in Tennessee. He got scholarship offers from half of the SEC, including Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas A&M. Melanie was a Michigan native and Wolverine fan and took Colson to camp in Ann Arbor in June 2019. He left with an offer from head coach Jim Harbaugh. Colson later picked up notable offers from Auburn, Florida State, Oklahoma, Oregon, Penn State, USC, and others. My goodness. But his connection with Michigan and former linebackers coach Brian Jean Mary, who is also of Haitian descent, led him to Ann Arbor. He was a 4th-ranked recruit in Harbaugh's 2021 class. After 3 seasons with the program, including a national championship in 2023, Colson skipped his remaining eligibility to enter the 2024 NFL Draft. Sorry if you guys don't find that interesting. I find that so cool. I got just some bullet points for strengths and weaknesses here, so we don't have to read through this whole thing. But good frame, good movement, good speed. Says athletic in coverage, understands football concepts deeply, so good football IQ. Highly praised for work ethic. High pain tolerance, having played through significant injuries without missing games. Winner of the 2023 Lot Impact Trophy, indicating high integrity, maturity, performance, academics, community, and tenacity. And then productivity, high tackle production with 257 career tackles. Some of the weaknesses, patience and decision-making. And by the way, this one stands out just because when I went and looked at my note for him, I said, and I gave him a 6.5 out of 10, which, some of these are the problem with linebacker is it really depends how we're using him. Basically, what I said was, I love the way he moves at 238. That's my favorite thing about him. He doesn't move like he's 238, and that in and of itself is really impressive. But what I said is I don't know what else to do with him other than to make him a weak side linebacker. Now, Dane says he's a Mike. He played Mike in college, which most of these guys did. It means you're the best linebacker, which generally, right? The best linebacker is going to be your Mike linebacker, whatever. So that doesn't mean much to me. But I just said by process of elimination, he can't play strong side. He's not strong enough, in my opinion. But I also didn't like, for example, his patience and decision making to be able to play Mike linebacker. What I love, though, is he moves really well at 238, and so I feel like he could do it. And basically what I said is if you're telling me he's going to be a weak side linebacker, I might be willing to bump this up a little bit. But this was one of my issues. It says patience and decision-making. Needs improvement in patience when working downhill to avoid blockers' trap. Some issues with technique, with hand usage, shedding block. Shows room for improvement in man coverage and avoiding wasted movements, ball production, turnovers. That doesn't mean a ton to me. It'd be nice to see, get some hands on some balls or whatever, but again, very fleeting thing. And then minimal special teams experience. Red flags, missed spring practice due to foot surgery and combine workouts because of a hamstring strain, raising concerns about long-term durability. And then I just want to highlight a couple, those are sort of the bullet points. I want to highlight a couple other things here. So again, he was a Mike linebacker in Jesse Minter's 4-2-5 scheme. Now, 4-2-5 is very basic, what pretty much everybody's going to be running all the time. It's nickel defense, whatever. He was the leader of the number one defense in college. Now, immediately that starts setting off alarm bells in my head, which not the red ones, but the green ones, really positive ones. The Packers like guys from established defenses. They went and picked from the Georgia tree numerous times when Georgia was the number one defense. Now we're talking about the leader of the number one defense in college. He was voted team's defensive MVP, won Toughest Player Award, and then Dane Brugler in his final note says he projects as an NFL starting Mike early in his career and more complete version of Derek Barnes for the Detroit Lions. Now again, I struggle with the Mike thing just for the reasons that are said here. I think he's an athletic guy that can fly around and make tackles and everything, but he struggles with what? He struggles with processing. He struggles with, the shedding blocks and not falling into traps and all that kind of stuff. I would just rather, sure, he could be taught and whatever. He's got the size to be able to handle it. I don't know. But if you tell me he's a better version of Derek Barnes, I guess I could take that. He has a second-round grade on him, number 42 overall. And again, the only guy with a solid number 2. We'll take a break here. We'll come back and try to fly through as many more of these as we can. Starting off with number 2, Edgerrin Cooper. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. We all have smartphones, and we all know they're pretty amazing, but they also can be amazingly distracting, especially when we're around other people. So US Cellular wants us to reset our relationship with our phones by putting down our phones for $5. That's right, a company that sells phones wants us to put down our phones. And to see what we find, learn more at uscellular.com/built for us. This spring, make sure you're eating stress-free with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every single one of Factor's fresh, never-frozen meals is chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Like literally 2 minutes. You can choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, Vegan, and Veggie. And they've got more than 60 add-ons every single week, like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, beverages. So there's nothing to wait for. Get started right away. If you're looking for something gourmet, they've got that too. They got premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, truffle butter, broccolini, asparagus. I don't even eat that good. It's also going to be tailored to your schedule. You can customize your weekly meals with the flexibility to get as much or as little as you need, pause, or reschedule deliveries to suit your lifestyle. So head over to factormeals.com/packdaddy50 to use code PackDaddy50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code PackDaddy50 at Factor. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. So I have more linebackers to go through here that have been added to this list now. Thanks a lot. But as of right now, Edgerrin Cooper did jump up to my number one linebacker. I really, after watching him the second time, began to appreciate him a lot more. But 6'2", 230 pounds, playing for Texas A&M, fourth-year senior from Covington, Louisiana, 22.44 years old. He has a second to third round grade on him, number 46 overall. So he started playing football at age 5, very different than Junior Colson, right? He also played basketball, and he's an avid outdoorsman. Anytime you see that stuff, usually they're from the South, and you just think, yeah, they'd fit in just fine here. Hunting, fishing, and currently owns 5 dogs. High school, he was a linebacker and running back, had a breakout season his junior year, 106 tackles, 13 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 1 pick, earned him district's defensive MVP honors. On offense, he had 385 rushing yards, 6 yards per attempt, and 6 touchdowns. It's not quite Al Bundy good, but it's good. Let's see. Cooper became the first Covington player to be a U.S. Army All-American. He also lettered in track and had personal bests in 5 feet 6 inches in the high jump and 19.5 in the long jump, 19.5 as a junior. 4-star recruit, number 11 outside linebacker, 2022 recruiting class, number 5 recruit out of Louisiana, behind Keyshawn Butte and Cedric Van Pran. He got his first scholarship offer from Tulane, followed by his first SEC offer, which was Mississippi State. After that, he picked up Oklahoma offer in the summer before his senior year, committed to the Sooners. However, Cooper backed off that pledge in November 2019 after he added offers from Miami, Texas A&M, and LSU, the team he'd often rooted for through his childhood. At the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, he narrowed his choice down to Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M and picked the Aggies. His older brother James played linebacker at Shaw University in North Carolina. Edgerrin's girlfriend, Lisette Adam, a College Station native, tragically died in November 2023. Oh, my goodness. I was getting all excited thinking, oh, man, she's going to be a gymnast. We're going to be back in action here. That is horrible. Cooper opted out of the 2023 bowl game and accepted his invitation to the 2024 East-West Shrine Bowl, but was unable to participate because of injury. Whew, that was unexpected. Couple bullet points, strengths and weaknesses here. Strengths, athleticism and speed, pursuit and instincts, block shedding and edge rushing, tackling range, coverage ability, versatility, special teams impact. Some of the weaknesses, read and react, gap discipline, block disengagement, tackling technique, and then pass rush technique. I know pass rush was in both, but I think it just is more of he needs to add more to his repertoire. But he's got a couple tricks in his bag, and he's pretty good at it. Final notes on Mr. Edgerrin Cooper. He was a will linebacker and defensive coordinator, DJ Durkin's 4-2-5 base scheme. Also seeing snaps wide as a nickel or on the defensive line. It says, although 2023 was a forgettable season for the program, the Aggies defense ranked top 10 nationally, and Cooper was the catalyst leading the team in tackles, tackle for a loss, sacks, and forced fumbles. That's pretty shocking. He led the team in sacks, man. It's the only prospect in this class who can say that. Overall, Cooper has some undisciplined tendencies and will run himself out of plays, but he is a fast-flowing linebacker who can run and cover. He has the explosive traits to be a regular on special teams as a rookie and grow into a 3-down linebacker role in the NFL. And as I said, he is second, third round, number 46 overall. My personal grade, I gave him a 9 out of 10. And I specified in there that 9 out of 10 is not necessarily a historic thing. It's me just trying to quantify how I feel about these guys. It's hard to set a baseline. And since I think my highest was an 8.5 at the time, the only place to go up is, I could do like 8.75 or whatever, but I just went up to a 9. So one of the things I really liked about him is the fact that he's not pigeonholed into like a thing. I think he can do a lot of stuff. Personally, I like him as a middle linebacker, which makes me even like him even more because I feel like that's what we need most. But I also think he's got potentially the strength to play strong side and maybe even the athletic ability to play weak side. So the intersection between Dane Brugler's approval and my personal tastes, Edgerrin Cooper's the guy. You remove Dane, remove him and it's still my guy. But I would be very excited. Now, just based on what we've talked about so far, it does feel like if you told me the Packers are drafting their dream linebacker, it does feel like Junior Colson makes the most sense. Just, again, based on like the leader of the number one defense, that whole thing just feels right to me. At number 3, Trevin Wallace out of Kentucky, 6'1", 237 pounds. He is 21.18 years old, so one of the younger guys. His nickname is Duda, or Duda, whatever. Either way, I dig it. One of 5 kids. This is another thing I noticed. A lot of kids. People think I'm weird because I have 4 kids, and then you look at football players like one of 11, one of 5, one of 9, played 64 sports. Like, good Lord. Born and raised in Jessup, that's Jessup, Georgia, Wayne County. At age 5, started playing football. He was coached by his dad. Became clear very early he was on a different level. 4-year letterman in high school. On offense was quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. On defense, he was inside and outside linebacker. On special teams, he was the kick and punt returner. Helped the team go to 11-1 record in his junior year. Only loss came in the playoffs. Senior year, he got Defensive Player of the Year honors. He also won the state weightlifting competition at Wayne County with a power clean of 335 pounds and was a 4-year letterman on the track team and broke the school record in long jump, 23 feet, 4.25 inches. He also posted personal bests in the 100-meter, 200-meter, 110-meter hurdles, high jump, and shot put. He's a 4-star recruit, number 17 linebacker in the 2021 recruiting class, number 15 recruit in Georgia. He was number 3 linebacker in the state behind Barrett Carter and Smail Mondon. What happened to that guy? Maybe we'll see him next year. It says after missing out most of his junior season, his recruitment was slightly delayed, but after showing out at several camps, he picked up scholarship offers towards the end of his junior year. Wallace had offers from Auburn, NC State, and Illinois, but he surprised many when he committed to Boston College and head coach Jeff Hafley in June 2020. Interesting. However, he decommitted 5 months later and reopened his recruitment after he received several notable offers, including from LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and South Carolina. I mean, Hafley tried to get him once before. Granted, Hafley just wants to get good players. I get that, but you guys ever watch The Voice? I never used to like these kinds of shows, but I'm starting to get into it. One of the things in The Voice is, they turn around if they like your voice, and then the singer gets to pick. And then once in a while, the singer will get cut and the other person could steal. It's always like one of those, I really tried to get you and I lost out, and now I get you, and now I'm excited. I'm just saying, like, that just kind of popped into my head a little bit. Or it could go the other way, and he's like, big middle finger to you because you bailed on me, bud. I don't know. Either way, it's interesting. But he had a flurry of new offers. He committed to Kentucky over Auburn and Ole Miss and was the number 1 recruit in head coach Mark Stoops' 2021 class. His younger brother, Tavion, is a 4-star linebacker and top 50 recruit in the 2025 class and holds offers from Georgia, Kentucky, Ohio State, and others. His uncle, Robert Bryant, played linebacker at Oklahoma from 2009 to 11. After 3 seasons, Wallace elected to forego his remaining eligibility and entered the 2024 NFL Draft. Some of the bullet points here. Strengths, athleticism and speed, mobility, physicality, blitzing ability, versatility, coverage range, special teams contribution, 412 special team snaps, and his leadership. He was team captain in 2023. Weaknesses, anticipation and decision-making, discipline, prone to freelancing, engagement with blockers, tackling angles, pass coverage, and durability. He missed 1 game in each season at Kentucky due to minor injuries, raising slight concerns about his ability to stay healthy. And then finally, he was the will linebacker in Brad White's 4-2-5 space scheme. You notice a pattern here. Overall, Wallace has an attractive collection of traits for today's NFL. However, the parts are better than the whole at this point, and pro coaching will need to get him across the finish line. With more seasoning, he has the talent to compete for starter reps. Third round, number 86 overall. At number 4, we've got everybody's favorite Peyton Wilson out of NC State. 6'3", closer to 6'4", 233 from Hillsborough, North Carolina. He is 24 years old. Freaking dude born 4/21/2000. I don't even know how to handle that. But he's a small town guy, small rural town, 40 miles northwest of Raleigh. Parents kept him active, a lot of sports, hunting. Parents were both high school athletes, so they wanted their kids active. Started playing football at age 5, another popular thing. Went to Orange High School where his father was. 3-sport standout, played both ways varsity football. Earned Conference Defensive Player of the Year. And he received the Raleigh Male Athlete of the Year award. He was on pace to surpass those numbers as a senior, but suffered a torn ACL and missed the rest of the season. He was named U.S. Army All-American, unable to play in the game. He was also a standout in lacrosse, earned All-Conference and All-Metro, and wrestling, won the 220-pound state champion in 2017 at Orange. He was a 4-star recruit, number 4 outside linebacker in the 2018 recruiting class, number 4 recruit in North Carolina, number 79 recruit nationally, 5 spots ahead of Jamar Chase. Wow. Received offers from Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State. Growing up just outside of Durham, Wilson was a Duke fan as a kid, and his family had season tickets, but he committed to the Blue Devils' arch rival, North Carolina. Towards the end of his senior season, Wilson decommitted from the Tar Heels, considered Notre Dame before flipping to head coach Dave Doran and NC State. He was the highest-ranked recruit in the Wolfpack in the 2018 class, 2 spots ahead of Alim McNeil, the guy who's breaking out over there in Detroit. He enrolled in January, rehabbed his knee injury from his senior high school, re-injured his knee, and redshirted in 2018, battled numerous injuries over his college career, and elected to return to school in 2023 for his 6th year of eligibility. So the injuries do not sound great. Older brother Bryce was a standout football player and baseball player at Orange, was drafted in the 4th round, number 109 in the 2016 MLB draft for the Atlanta Braves. That's interesting. Bryce made his MLB debut for the Braves in 2018, has a 4.98 ERA, couldn't tell you if that's good or not. Over his 6-year career with the Braves, Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's a Brewer. Interesting. So Brewers fans, I'm guessing you probably know or have heard of Bryce Wilson. That is Peyton Wilson's brother. Peyton, back to Peyton now, he graduated with a degree in applied education studies, plans to work with kids who have special needs after football. He opted out of the bowl game and accepted his invite to the 2024 Senior Bowl. Couple bullet points here. Strengths that are noted: athleticism and agility, field awareness, run defense, coverage skills, tackling, energy and hustle, and leadership. Says he served as a 3-year team captain, highly respected for his competitive spirit and leadership, both on and off the field. Very productive and has lots of awards and honors. All-American ACC Player of the Year honors, among other accolades. Some of the weaknesses noted: physical attributes, strength, tackling technique. Again, it sounds like a contradiction, but you got tackling and tackling technique, technically 2 different things. Zone coverage anticipation, his medical history, and an off-field incident involving a misdemeanor incident, which teams may consider for their overall evaluation and whatnot. All right, so a little bit into that. First of all, slightly different defensive scheme. He went with defensive coordinator Tony Gibson's 3-3-5 stack scheme. It's a very aggressive defense that focuses on coverage, obviously based on the 5 DBs and whatnot, built kind of for spread offenses and whatnot. But anyways, looking at those injuries, I just want to kind of go through these because it lists a little bit more in detail what all of them are. It says medical history is a bright red flag. After double-digit surgeries since his senior year of high school, missed the second half of his senior year of high school after tearing his ACL in his right knee, requiring surgery, re-injured his right knee during the summer of 2018, requiring another surgery, sitting out his first season at NC State, underwent surgery on both shoulders after the 2020 season, and sat out 2021 spring practices, missed most of the 2021 season after suffering his 3rd shoulder dislocation, September of 2021, which required surgery, Bristow procedure performed by Dr. James Andrews to repair shoulder blade issues, battled complications from surgery, including infection, will be 24 years old on draft weekend. Also, arrested on misdemeanor counts of consuming alcohol, possession of a fraudulent ID, injury to personal property, and resisting an officer, December of 2019, after he ran from police, was struck by a vehicle and hid under a parked car. I mean, look, I've been that dude with a fake ID at a bar before. I didn't run from the police and then get hit by a car and then hide under a car, though. You know, that kind of makes it a little bit worse. I suppose if you're an athlete like him, you feel like you could maybe get away with it. I don't know. But I think when you just put the total off the field package together, take that for however minor you think it is, add in the extensive injury history and the recurring injuries, I think is the bigger issue, right? It's like, well, he hasn't had injuries in a while. It's like, bro, he's had recurring like right knee issues and shoulder blade issues, like recurring. That's a problem. And he's 24 years old. I mean, for however much you might like the guy, those are bad. Add into that I don't super care for the guy, and it's like, I don't want him. I just don't. I gave Peyton Wilson a 6 out of 10. I tried to be as gracious as I could. I gave a bunch of other guys a 6 out of 10 as well. Very odd in that scheme. It's I would say at least 50% of the time he's just blitzing, which could be a positive, I suppose, if you're looking for a guy that can kind of add that dimension. He's got a lot of experience, but it's odd to watch a linebacker that's just going full send all the time. Even, you look at run plays, like, well, he's not blitzing there. It's like, well, he kind of is. Like, there's nothing going on except get into the backfield. And maybe that's good for Hafley. I don't know. It's odd for me. I think he completely lacks physicality. He's going to have to 100% be a weak side linebacker in that role. Can he pull it off? Sure. Assuming the age and the injuries and everything aren't an issue, can he run in a straight line and bring a guy down? Most of the time, although if you go look at the scouting report I did, there's several instances of him just not doing that. Just completely missing people. So I don't know, man. I can't with him. I just can't. But why don't we take a break? We'll come back and hit a few more linebackers, see how many more we can get done. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Jason Kelly.
From Bloomberg, this is The Deal. Each week, you'll hear us in conversation with business icons.
This show will explore deal-making across sports, media, and entertainment.
And that is a harsh lesson in business.
Sports is not as simple as bringing a bunch of big names together.
I didn't want to do another stomp you out speech.
It opened up so many more doors.
The show is called
The Deal.
Listen to The Deal.
Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at Marines.com.
Next up, we got my boy Tommy Eichenberg out of Ohio State. Tommy Eichenberg. 6'2", 233, out of Cleveland, Ohio, 23.29 years old. Youngest of 3 kids, grew up in a Cleveland suburb of Westlake. Started playing football in elementary school, initially as a quarterback. Played travel baseball and basketball, one of the top athletes in the area. He attended football powerhouse St. Ignatius High School, a Catholic school in Cleveland, and played linebacker on the freshman team. As a sophomore, Eichenberg, he joined the varsity team, led Ignatius to an 11-2 record in 2017, lost to Mentor in the semifinals. He got moved to middle linebacker as a senior. They had an 0-2 start, and then had 8 straight wins after they switched him to inside linebacker. He also lettered in wrestling and qualified for states in the shot put. 4-star recruit, number 19 inside linebacker in the 2019 recruiting class, number 8 recruit in Ohio. Got scholarships from several Power 5 programs like Iowa, Kentucky, Michigan State, Minnesota, and Purdue. Summer before his senior year, Eichenberg committed to Boston College and was ready to shut down his recruitment. However, he added offers from Michigan and Ohio State midway through his senior season, decommitted from Boston College. Man, oh man. I think this might have been before Hafley's time, but still. Having grown up modeling his game after Buckeyes linebackers like A.J. Hawk and James Laurinaitis, Eichenberg committed to Ohio State in December 2018. 2018. Never mind. Despite Urban Meyer announcing his retirement, he was officially the first commit under head coach Ryan Day and the number 10 recruit in the class, second-ranked linebacker behind Cade Stover. So this is 1 year prior to Hafley joining Ohio State. So either way, they were going to cross paths. His older brother Liam, who has a twin sister Bridget, for some reason that confused me for a second there. I was like, wait, wouldn't that be his sister, but not his twin? So his older brother Liam was an All-American left tackle at Notre Dame and was drafted in the second round of the 2021 NFL draft by the Miami Dolphins. Oh yeah, I know Liam Eichenberg. I don't know why I never made that connection before. His father Greg played college basketball at John Carroll, helping the program to a 20-4 season, 1987-88. Uncle Sean Finnan, who also played in St. Ignatius, was a defensive tackle at Marshall. Eichenberg graduated with a degree in real estate. He accepted his invitation to the 2024 Senior Bowl, but was unable to participate because of an elbow injury. Couple of quick hitters here. Strengths: instinctive against the run, physicality and block shedding, pursuit angles and efficiency, tackling, leadership, football IQ, and durability. Weaknesses are his physical attributes, which go on to say faces limitations with shorter than ideal arm length, lateral movement, coverage skills, and ball skills. Going a little bit deeper into that, some of the notes on him: not very vocal, but extremely intense and, quote-unquote, the quarterback of the defense, according to head coach Ryan Day. Always locked in and would regularly meet with offensive linemen at Ohio State to gain an offensive perspective. NFL Scout said, he has a dead-eye demeanor. His personality is football. You know exactly what you're getting with him. Plus, the coaches say he's one of the best practice players. Never goes half speed. I like this guy so much, man. Routinely plays through injuries and takes a lot for him to miss games. Played the 2023 Michigan game with a dislocated elbow. Jeez, I like this guy a lot. 2-year starter at Ohio State, Eichenberg manned the middle linebacker position in defensive coordinator Jim Knowles' 4-2-5 base scheme. Heartbeat of the Buckeyes defense, total 200 tackles in the last 2 seasons. Named Big Ten Linebacker of the Year in 2023. Overall, Eichenberg isn't a proven playmaker in coverage, but he understands pursuit angles and displays outstanding key read flow skills versus the run. He has the talent, football character, and feel for the game to earn a starting job during the NFL rookie training camp. Grade 3rd, 4th round. I don't think I need to tell you my thoughts on him. I just like the way he plays. And again, I do have a soft spot for sort of throwback linebackers, even though I didn't really see him as that. The fact that he's being described as that makes it feel like I've got some kind of subconscious bias going on. That makes me like the guy. At number 6, he's got Cedric Gray out of North Carolina, 6'1", 234, 21.49 years old, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Cedric Gray was born and raised in Washington, D.C. area, started playing flag football at age 5, followed by Pee Wee and youth leagues, including a championship with the Fort Washington Cannons. Also played basketball at the AAU circuit in middle and high school. And then he moved to the Charlotte area in 2012 with his mom and attended Ardrey Kell High School, a school in South Charlotte, opened in 2006. Played JV as a freshman, made varsity sophomore, played both ways, primarily wide receiver on offense. As a sophomore, he was a safety. He was named the Offensive Player of the Year with 37 receptions, 684 yards and 4 touchdowns. Junior year is when he started to blossom on defense. As a senior linebacker / safety, Gray led Ardrey Kell to an 11-2 record in the 2019 Conference Championship, finished his final season with 70 tackles, blah, blah, blah. Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. Gray also caught 51 passes, blah, blah, blah. and was the team's primary kick returner. He lettered in basketball for 3 years at that school, averaging 2.8 points and 3 rebounds per game as a senior. Why does that seem so low? 3-star recruit, number 37 athlete in the 2020 recruiting class, number 16 recruit in North Carolina. Received mostly FCS attention as a high school underclassman with offers from Youngstown State and Campbell. This first FBS offer came from Marshall, followed by offers from Kent State, Coastal Carolina, App State, and Toledo. Initially overlooked by Power 5 programs, Gray received a North Carolina offer soon after Mac Brown was hired as the head coach, and Gray committed a week later. He signed as a linebacker, was the number 9 recruit in the Tar Heels 2020 class. Gray graduated with a degree from North Carolina. He skipped the 2023 bowl game, accepted an invite to the Senior Bowl. Some bullet points: strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: build and physical attributes, speed and range, instincts and awareness, lateral movement and tackling, zone coverage, leadership, special teams experience and durability. Weaknesses: play strength and bulk, engagement technique, recovery speed, tackling consistency, and man coverage. He was a multi-year team captain in high school for 3 years, 2 years in college. Passionate competitor. The UNC defensive coordinator and linebacker coach Tommy Thigpen said is an alpha male who loves football, crazy aggressive with a huge football IQ. 3-year starter at North Carolina, he lined up as a will linebacker and assistant head coach for the defense, Gene Chezik, 4.25 base scheme. Overall, Gray might not be exceptional in any one area, but he is equal parts athletic and aggressive and is always in the vicinity of the football. He projects as a rotational NFL linebacker and special teamer who will compete for starting reps as a rookie, grade 4th round. So surprisingly, I didn't see any All-22 film grades or coverage or whatever, but I found a video on YouTube, which is pretty, it's fine for linebackers and whatnot. I did end up giving him a 7 out of 10. In my mind, he was just sort of a lesser Eichenberg. Doesn't take on blocks as well, but he flies around pretty well. Also liked the football IQ aspect. He seemed like he always knew where he needed to be. Doesn't get tricked, confused, lost, any of that stuff. Rolling on to number 7, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. out of Clemson, 6 foot 228, out of Hainesport, New Jersey, 21.34 years old. Got an older sister, younger brother, born and raised in Hainesport, which is 20 miles east of Philly, in a football family. His parents, Jeremiah Sr. and Tammy, met while attending college at Stephen S. Austin, were married in 1998, a few months after Trotter Sr. was drafted and began his 11-year NFL career. Tammy tragically died from breast cancer February 2023 at age 46. Oh, jeez, that's terrible. But grew up playing several sports, obviously, but baseball, basketball, golf, gravitated towards football, started playing organized football at age 6, Pop Warner Patriots, coached by his father throughout his youth, wore number 54, same as his dad, attended St. Joseph's Prep School in Philly. He was teammates with several future FBS players like Marvin Harrison Jr. and quarterback Kyle McCord. After getting a taste of varsity action as a freshman, Trotter added 30 pounds for his sophomore year, started at linebacker, helping St. Joseph to a 13-0 record in the 2018 6A state championship. As a junior, he played 5 games before suffering a broken right arm, dislocated wrist, which sidelined him for the final 9 games. As a senior, he returned to the field, helped St. Joseph to their 3rd straight 6A state championship, was named Under Armour All-American after his final season. 4-star recruit, number 5 linebacker in 2021 recruiting class, number 3 recruit in Philadelphia, 2 spots ahead of Harrison. He was a number 37 recruit nationally. During his freshman year, Trotter received his first offers from Maryland, Syracuse, and Temple, but several injuries throughout his high school slowed the flow of offers coming in. He connected with family atmosphere at Clemson and committed early in his junior year. In September 2019, Trotter was the 3rd-ranked recruit in Dabo Swinney's 2021 class, 1 spot behind Barrett Carter. His younger brother was a 3-star linebacker recruit in the 2023 class and committed to West Virginia over Clemson, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. After playing 3 years at Stephen F. Austin, his father was a 3rd-round pick in the 1998 NFL Draft and played the majority of his career with the Philadelphia Eagles, split between 3 stints. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. helped the organization reach the Super Bowl in 2004 and was inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame in 2016. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. opted out of the 2023 bowl game, skipped the senior season, and entered the 2024 NFL draft. A couple strengths and weaknesses here. Some strengths: NFL-ready frame, run defense, tackling, pass defense flashes, blitzing ability, pedigree, and toughness. Weaknesses: his change of direction, speed, lateral vision and anticipation, engagement with blockers, and coverage limitations. Let's see, he received daily coaching from his Pro Bowl father throughout childhood, and hard work was instilled in him at a young age. Trotter Sr. says, he's already better than me. He played through a nagging hamstring injury the first half of the 2023 season, filled up the stat sheet the last 2 seasons with 177 total tackles. 2-year starter at Clemson, Trotter was the Mike linebacker in defensive coordinator Wes Goodwin's 4-2-5 base scheme. As a top recruit with the name recognition, he arrived with high expectations and responded by leading the Tigers in tackles for a loss, sacks as both a sophomore and junior. Overall, Trotter is an instinctive hammer with the pedigree and toughness that will endear him to NFL coaches, although his limitations in space versus NFL athletes could restrict him in next-level role. His optimistic projection is that he can be like Chicago Bears linebacker TJ Edwards, grade 4th round. And then I think we're going to end with this because we're kind of rocking and rolling here on the time, but this is kind of a big one. This is somebody a lot of us are going to have to go back and double-check. Jordan McGee out of Temple is listed as the number 8 linebacker. He was not even in the initial top 200 when I went through and did it. So I never even got a chance to watch him. I'm certainly going to have to go back and do that. But Jordan McGee out of Temple, 6'1", 228, out of Dover, Delaware, 23 years old. He was a middle of 3, 2 boys and a girl. Was born in Towson, Maryland. He picked up football at a young age and was a do-everything player throughout youth levels. He attended Dover High School, where he's a 4-year varsity letterman. Played wide receiver and linebacker as a freshman, transitioned to quarterback as a sophomore. After Dover finished 2-8 in his junior year, McGee led the team to a 9-2 finish as a senior and a spot in the 2018 playoffs. He got second-team All-State, first-team All-Conference honors. He also lettered in baseball, basketball, and track at Dover, taking second place in the 2019 Delaware State Championship in the high jump, 6 feet 2 inches, and shot put. 3-star recruit, McGee was a number 200 athlete in the 2019 recruiting class, and the number 2 recruit in Delaware. He got his first and only FBS offer the summer before his junior season at Temple. He also got FCS offers from Delaware, Delaware State, Morgan State. Indiana showed interest in McGee as a quarterback, but he told him he wanted to play defense in college. He officially committed to the former Owls head coach Jeff Collins in May 2018. 6 months later, a few weeks before signing day, Collins left to take the Georgia Tech head coaching job. Temple hired Manny Diaz as the next head coach, and a week later, McGee signed with the program as the number 16 recruit in the Owls 2019 class. After less than a month on the job, Diaz left to take the head coaching job at Miami, followed by Mark Richt's retirement, and Temple hired Rod Carey as the new head coach. McGee was an AAC All-Academic honoree and graduated with his degree in advertising. He was invited to the 2024 East-West Shrine Bowl, but was unable to play because of a bicep injury. Strengths and weaknesses: strengths, athleticism, blitzing and pursuit, agility in space, tackling, improvement. He got better from in 2023. Coverage ability, competitiveness, leadership, special teams contribution, and durability. Weaknesses: his size and bulk, play strength, tackling technique, anticipation, block shedding, and injuries. Suffered significant injuries, including a right bicep injury in the past, meniscus tear, raising concerns about durability. Overall, McGee's average play strength will stand out versus pro competition, but as athletic range and competitive play style are NFL quality assets, he should be an outstanding special teamer as a rookie while he competes for defensive snaps, 4th or 5th round grade. So just to kind of go over the linebackers that he sees as draftable, he has 20 with firm 7th round or higher grades, 25 with 7th to free agent grades. Again, 2nd round, Junior Colson. 2nd, 3rd, Edgerrin Cooper. 3rd round, Trevin Wallace, Peyton Wilson. 3rd, 4th, Tommy Eichenberg. He has a 4th on Cedric Ray and Jeremiah Trotter. 4th, 5th on Jordan McGee and Adefuan Olufashio. 5th round grades on Curtis Jacobs, Tyron Hopper, and J.D. Bertrand. 5th, 6th round grades on Jalen Ford, Trice Knight, and Marist Lufau. 6th round grades on Darius Massaw, Nathaniel Watson, and then 6 7th-round grades on James Williams Steele-Chambers, 7th-round grade on Michael Barrett Jr. Then he's got 5 other grades, 7th round to free agent, Kalen DeLoach, Aaron Casey, Tatum Bethune, John Trey Hunter, and Easton Gibbs. And then the last couple that he sees as free agents are Mema Nemeta, Winston Reed, Dallas Gant, Bo Richter, Jackson Mitchell, Jamal Hill, and Yvandy Rigby. So tomorrow the plan will be for running back. As for today, we're going to leave it at that. You guys have a good rest of your day. I will talk to you tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Have a good one. Bye-bye.